to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
Just throw us a technical curveball. Why the fuck not?
Sure, why not?
You know, PC idiot.
We can't have it be too easy for too many weeks in a row.
Right.
You know?
Dear universe, sorry?
Mercury is retrograde from what I understand.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay. Like, I don't know shit about this.
They have to go butt chug some crystals?
But my mother-in-law is always worried about Mercury being in retrograde, and a lot of people seem to know about this thing.
Okay.
But apparently when Mercury is in retrograde, that means stuff doesn't work right. Like, things that usually are fine are not fine in the moment.
Okay.
For some reason. But that's because Mercury is in retrograde.
Oh, of course.
And I don't know what that means, other than it's supposed to mess up normal stuff. So you don't buy something under Mercury being in retrograde. You don't buy a car.
How long does it last?
I don't know, a few weeks or a couple of weeks or something. I don't even know.
I wonder what the actual scientific reference is of Mercury being in retrograde.
Like, it has to do with its motion in, I don't know. But I don't believe in it necessarily, but it's a thing.
I could see how fundamentally, if someone were able to draw some sort of scientific correlation between where Mercury is
and bad things happening,
yeah, you could say that it's certainly plausible off of things that we don't understand, gravity, radiation, that some things change their paths in conjunction with non-perceivable science shit.
I think it's one of those things that bad shit just happens all the time. Okay?
Right.
But when Mercury is in retrograde, you can just be like, oh, well, Mercury's in retrograde.
Well, it's a full moon. So, that's,
that kind of stuff.
That's when you have to worry about not buying mushrooms.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So when I say Mercury's in retrograde, just know that I kind of mostly 98% of the time just kind of say it as a joke.
Is there a way to combat it?
Yeah, you wait until after.
You just wait.
Mercury comes out of retrograde,
right?
And then it's no longer
retro.
I don't know what retrograde means as far as planetary alignment and whatnot.
Yeah.
If you know, let us know. SadDadsClubPodcast@gmail.com.
Right. Hey, and if you're a bot padding the stats, we appreciate you.
Yeah. And also, if you'd like for us to spend a bunch of money to get our show recognized more places and have more people watch it, dude, by all means, just let us know.
Yeah, you could. Hashtag Ulanzi.
Yeah.
But not JetBlue.
Right.
Unless.
And certainly not hashtag chemical guys.
Right.
No.
Sorry, Datas.
Hey, we kind of skimmed over this. Well, we didn't even talk about it at all.
Okay.
The new movie that I know you have seen.
Twice.
You have you?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. I feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Deadpool Wolverine movie?
Yes.
You've seen it 2 times now?
Yes.
Why am I not surprised?
I don't know. The only shocking thing is why I haven't seen it 4 times.
That just comes down to funds and time.
Yes.
And we probably know you have the funds to go see it again.
Yeah.
And especially if you just go see it on a Tuesday.
Right. And the way it has gone over in my house, if I had gone to see it without
someone else,
I'd probably get in trouble. So I would not be able to say, like, if I just said, I've seen it 3 times, and my wife listens to the podcast, she'd be like, no.
So wait a second. Hold on now. Are you covering for yourself?
I'm just saying.
Have you
hypothetically I would have already done the calculation that I can only admit legally to have seen it 2 times.
Right.
Because if I had seen it 3 times,
You'll wish you had your camper back.
yeah, right.
Because
Where's the RV?
Yeah, I need somewhere
I
to
got to
sleep.
get the sleeping bags out of the attic. Yes.
I did go see it.
Did you?
Yeah, a week and a half-ish ago.
Yes.
Very good. Funny.
Yes.
A lot of inside Disney joke stuff.
Mhm.
I love that
Yeah.
thrown in there. Silly movie.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
More movies should be like that. It's not super serious, and that's what's fun about
right.
it.
And it's not a character that they've taken an interpretation of and made it not serious.
That's what he is.
That movie, specific. All of them are, but that one, that's his character.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a creative liberty to help make it more approachable or to just more entertaining. It is 100% in the vein of how the Deadpool comic and character is, right in line.
Now, I have seen some TikTok things, where people have like, oh, I'm going to take my kids to go see this movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's rated R for a reason.
Oh, sure.
It's really... It's a really rough movie from that standpoint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, years back, I think when Piper got 16, 17-ish, I think Deadpool 1 had been out.
Yeah.
And for me, specifically at being firstborn and that young, and the cussing coming from her was not a thing that was at least casually being dropped.
Yeah.
The Deadpool 1, specifically the part where him and Vanessa are getting together and they're going through like the holidays
right.
and doing the banging.
Right.
That was a little too adult.
Yeah.
And we had come to the agreement that when you want to watch, you can watch Deadpool when you can watch that part with your mom and I in the room.
Right.
Eventually, she got there, and it was like it was no big deal.
Yeah.
But it was like that was like sort of like the way to gate whether or not you're mature enough to be like, oh, this is adults and they're doing a thing and that's sex and that's acceptable and sure, blah blah blah. And then the cussing. To this day, Xander has not yet seen Deadpool 1.
No.
While he's been approached with, you can watch it,
And
but
he's like 28.
you get the same deal as your sister. Like, you can watch Deadpool 1,
Yeah.
but you have to watch that part with us.
He's like, it's cool. I got Roblox.
Yeah, I guess not. The right. With all the
I'm fine.
fucking pedos. If he didn't have so you get through to now we're 2024. He's online gaming. While I'm not 100% absolutely happy with his vernacular because he's ahead of Piper, but yet even now Piper is casually cussing and dropping stuff.
Yeah.
So we can't necessarily put that back in a bottle for him because Piper's out of the gate.
Right.
And while we try and like, hey, like, you can have some liberties, but sometimes it's a bit much and I need you to dial it back. It is still jarring as a dad
Yes.
to hear either of the kids drop a fuck or a shit.
I agree with that.
So, and even Piper, like sometimes it's even if it's not like a to somebody, like the casual, like that's fucking bullshit, like a passionate tone.
Yeah.
It's still like not quite sure if I'm ready for that one yet, but it's out of the horse has left the barn.
Yeah.
We did watch with Xander, both kids, Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 has a lot less of the adult themes that 1 has.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more comic booky. The language is certainly still there, but it's a little bit more comic booky. So we have watched that. So when we went and saw for the first time Deadpool and Wolverine, Xander had said, I think like a week later, like he was starting to see like meme stuff in like his social media feeds, I think on like Pinterest or on YouTube and like compilation things. But he was trying to avoid spoilers. And I went, do you want to see it? Like, we'll take you to see it. Because at that point, while the fuck bombs are certainly off the charts,
Yeah.
I put Deadpool and Wolverine in the same vein as like Deadpool 2 is. Like, there weren't really too many like sexual overtones like that scene with him and Vanessa in Deadpool 1.
I'd say most of it's dialogue.
Most of it's dialogue.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, the fucking the lady, the shaved head, Professor X's Cassandra Nova. She does do a scene where she's like, if you take the fucking helmet off, I'm going to nuke both your brains while I flick my beam to the box set of Enya. And then fucking Deadpool's like, there's a box set of Enya?
Right.
I think that was probably missed by both. But for the most part,
yeah,
that's really... so, yeah, both kids wanted... And Piper was waiting to see it until summer courses were over. She's like, I don't have time. I need to be focusing on this. So it came up. We're like, do you want to go? I think it was last weekend, week and a half ago. Like Saturday, we'll buy tickets. You guys want to go see it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Took the family, fucking had a riot.
Yeah. Enjoyed it. It was a good.
Oh,
movie.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I figured also that you'd seen it.
Yes.
Didn't realize it was going to be 4 times.
Or 2. Hashtag I love my wife. She's totally going to be like, did you?
Yeah, I it's interesting because even my wife is into the Deadpool movies, which
good,
is
that's
really
awesome.
interesting. Yeah,
she's a yeah. That's not shocking.
She enjoys them.
Good. That's cool.
The cussing isn't a big deal at our house because Chandler's 27.
I have heard your wife jawing at some TikTok thing through your headset where I went, well, God, or it was Melly. I don't know.
No, Melly, she's very reserved. I've only heard her cuss a handful of times.
Really?
And it was something that was...
You're lucky.
Warranted.
Oh.
At the moment.
That's bullshit.
And I went, whoa.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hot daughter
now,
is hot.
She may cuss more than I know. Maybe she just doesn't do it around us. Maybe she's self-conscious about it. Whatever. She's 23, so almost 24.
You do what you want.
So they're adults now, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Chandler's just a sailor.
Yeah. Right.
Absolutely a sailor.
I've heard the sailings.
You were there.
Yeah.
You were there on the ship.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah. Yeah. Row that boat. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, he zero fucks. And he's like the kind of guy that like says it almost habitually.
Yeah.
And almost to the point where you're like, I'm tired now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
I mean, I feel like I cuss a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of room to speak.
Oh yeah, no.
And
like, this is a house I have most certainly built.
Yeah.
As far as foul language, so I
Chandler's,
only have me to blame for
Yeah, I mean, Shanna's very reserved. She'll drop some bombs here and there, but she is way more reserved than I am, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll, she can run with the best of them if she needed to.
The second time we saw it, so we saw, the first time we saw it was like the opening weekend, and a lot of the beats, the audience, there was a lot. It almost seemed like there were a lot more fans in the seats. The second time we saw it with the kids, I was sitting next to a family of 4 with the dad next,
with a couple of 12-year-olds.
Yeah, the dad next to me, and some of his early comments as like the credits were rolling, like I could tell that he hadn't seen it yet, but was also a fan. Like, oh fucking yeah. So he knew the culture, knew the character, but hadn't seen it yet. So as some of the original beats where I was like,
yeah,
like super excited, it didn't feel like that was shared a week later. Like it was kind of
it was a different kind of crowd.
Sure.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff, like I had really tried to avoid the trailers because I was concerned it was going to paint the movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in with only a handful of images that I knew what was going on. I tried to avoid trailers, like whole trailers entirely.
Mm.
So the bulk of the movie, I knew that there were going to be cameos. I knew that there were going to be Easter eggs all over the place. I was giddy as a little girl when the 3 characters came out while they were in the temple.
Okay.
And it was Elektra, Jennifer Garner, and then Blade came out, and I almost lost my shit. Yeah. I'm like, I had no idea. But also, the kids, when they saw it, they didn't, I mean, they may have recognized that it was Blade, but not from the perspective that I did, having, like, Blade was the first real Marvel movie comic book character that most people don't recognize was an actual comic book guy. And I loved the shit out of the Blade movies, especially the soundtracks. The soundtracks were always amazing. Like that genre of music, like all of a sudden started to hit like really good with me, like fast pace, house, techno, dubstep type of shit. So when out of nowhere Blade comes sliding out, dude, big fanboy moment. I was just like, fucking what?
I mean, I feel that because when they came out, I was just like, oh, who are these guys?
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know.
You didn't know?
No. Because I'm not...
That's okay.
It's not really my world, really.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I'm like, oh, there are other characters that haven't been seen in a while or whatever. And I get that.
Yeah.
It's not like it was lost on me. But also, like, it didn't mean a bunch to me because I really haven't watched the early movies or anything like that. So,
yeah.
So it didn't mean nearly as much, obviously, to me as it did to you.
You were probably going to much better concerts when those movies were coming out. So
that's possible.
The Channing Tatum thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything about? So he was Gambit. He was the last one with the Creole accent that he kept making jokes. That Deadpool kept making jokes about his dialect. So the story behind that, do you know?
Very little.
So he was, because he's from the Cajun, Louisiana, like that borderish south originally, like actual homegrown there. He had been trying with Fox because Fox owned
Marvel.
That IP. He had been trying to get Fox to greenlight a Gambit movie where he would play it.
Yeah.
And he was, I think I saw on Fallon, he was at the 11th hour in getting Fox to actually do it, and then Disney got the rights. Disney bought,
and so that kind of got dropped.
And it went. It was over. And he's like,
God damn it!
I was fucked. And he's like, so then Ryan's doing this, and he calls me up, and he's like, you want to do this? And Channing was just like,
boner.
Yes, please, 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 please. So he got so there are a number of like running jokes outside of like the dialect about who the fuck are you, like, and then he makes a joke somewhere along the way of like just an opportunity to play a guy, to do a thing.
Right.
Like there's a shot at Fox that he's just been wanting an attempt to play the character.
I mean, shouldn't that shot have been at Disney for dropping it all together?
Sure.
I mean, there were lots of jokes at Disney's expense for sure.
There was a joke about Daredevil to Elektra, and she said she kind of like goes, meh, I'm not really worried about it, and that's because the Daredevil movie where she played Elektra, Ben Affleck was Daredevil, and they were husband and wife.
Oh,
so and they go on to say
now they're getting a divorce.
Yeah, Daredevil's dead, and she oh, sorry for your loss, and she went.
I enjoyed the Daredevil series.
Yes, Matthew. Yes,
that was really
on
good.
Netflix.
Yeah,
he's getting.
Is it Netflix?
It was.
Yeah, but
Disney is doing.
Oh, it's on because it's Disney, right?
Now it's Disney.
So it'll be on Disney.
Now it'll be Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
So he's getting a new series on Disney Plus.
I think he did a really good job in Daredevil. The dude that played.
I think a lot of Marvel, certainly the non-movie stuff that came out that was on Netflix, is supported by the Daredevil series that he and the rest of that cast did absolutely fucking amazeballs on.
Yeah.
Like, all of those other Marvel attempts to make things only exist because that Daredevil series was so amazing. It's fucking phenomenal.
It's funny how Disney holds the IP for these franchises like Star Wars and the Marvel series that are sort of open-ended and have all these holes to fill. And Star Wars has a lot of holes filled, except, I mean, they got way more stories to tell, obviously.
Oh, sure.
But the whole Marvel world seems like it's got ample room for fill in the blanks everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, really cool. I've never really been a comic book guy.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the Marvel movies, and the Daredevil, and the Daredevil series, and obviously Deadpool, Wolverine. I haven't watched any of the Wolverine movies. Oddly, I need to go back and watch those.
There are some skippable ones. Logan, specifically, is probably one of the most. Logan is must see, obviously, because they make the beginning sequence of the Deadpool Wolverine is entirely referencing the ending of Logan.
Oh,
so
okay.
X-23,
like where
the daughter, the young brunette girl that comes out last, is a character in Logan.
I assumed that because I almost thought that she was like his daughter or something.
Genetically, she is.
Because she had knives.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, is she his daughter? Because I didn't watch any of the Wolverine films.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to piece together where she came from.
They take his DNA and kind of like Dolly the sheep. They split his DNA and make her in like a test tube, and she has like his healing factor. She doesn't have the full adamantium skin, but she has 2 claws, and then she has a claw on her feet. So you may have seen her like spike somebody in the head.
Okay.
A couple times.
Learning all the time.
Oh, fuck.
I
dude.
mean, I hadn't seen them all.
And watching it the second time,
You realize how sad you were because it wasn't the first time?
Oh, yeah, or the third time. Wait, what? Shit, sorry. It's as a fan, it's absolutely just candy to see all of the little Easter eggs and like haha jokes. I cannot imagine how hard it is to try and create all the like the webbing of scripting and storytelling to actually make that stuff work. Like and there's a huge amount of appreciation for those writers that do that because they picked out some stuff that Wesley Snipes Blade in his first movie when he like finishes off the boss, he makes an iconic statement that like after he deals with the bad guy, he goes, "Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill." Like, and as a young guy in his 20s, it's like, man, that's like the amount of times I have leveraged that line at work to idiots. Like it's peak awesome to just like shade at someone that's, you're doing this the hard way. Like,
right.
You're an idiot. So he ends up dropping that line, I think, at the end when they're all fighting inside the Ant-Man hands.
Yeah.
He's like, "Motherfuckers still trying to ice skate uphill." And I'm like, oh! No one... Venus got it. But, like, the two kids would not because, A, they haven't seen Blade. And so it's like, those little things are just so, like...
Right. I wouldn't have picked up on that because I didn't see Blade.
Right.
So.
But you, it's like a lot of the Star Wars stuff. There are like tiers. If you can create a movie that tiers of fandom, like tears as in steps, not tears as in crying,
Sadness,
can all get like, no matter what your tier is, walk out of the movie theater like, damn, I had a great time at multiple tiers. Like, you have, like, well done. Like, everyone responsible for putting that together and writing that story and delivering it as actors, fucking amazeballs.
Well, if you can create a movie that's part of a bigger world,
sure,
right, that is entertaining. And it doesn't matter if you've seen anything else; it's just good on its own.
Yeah,
then you've done the right thing.
When Deadpool and Wolverine are fighting in the minivan, and that
was a nice odyssey.
It was. Probably wasn't on Run Flats though. Fuck you, Run Flat, Michelin bullshit. Deadpool slams Wolverine's head into the console, and Venus noticed it the first time, but I didn't. The first song that plays when he hits his head and it turns on the radio is the Hugh Jackman song from The Greatest Showman.
Oh yeah, yeah. The girls noticed that,
and I'm just like over the fighting.
Yeah.
We get out of the theater, and I think it was maybe we were home, and Venus goes, "Did you hear the first song?" And I went, "No," but because then it goes into Grease Lightning, or the John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John,
yeah.
I'm like, no. What? She's like, it like hits it. It's The Greatest Showman, and then it hits it again, and then it goes into the Grease track. And I went, oh, shit.
Yeah, lots of hidden detail in there.
Oh, my God.
And that's kind of funny that you didn't pick up on it, of all things.
Right. I'm watching the fight. And that first part, I'm watching, like, brutality occur.
Well, on two dudes who can't die.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
They're just fucking beating each other up for no reason.
Yeah. I'm going to hit you now. What? You fucking...
Yeah. Yeah, so bizarre. Anyway, I thought it was good.
Did you just go with Shan, or did you take...
Melly? It was, we had 7.
Oh.
It was me, Shan, Melly, Chandler, or 6. Nicole and Shan's brother went.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we had a bunch of us.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. Enjoyed it.
How was the theater packed? Was it decent?
It was pretty full.
I saw.
It wasn't 100%, but it was pretty full.
The highest grossing R-rated movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the summer blockbuster.
Yeah,
right?
flush with. I mean, they broke records.
Yeah.
Like obviously,
we're not seeing that much anymore. Summer blockbusters aren't what they used to be.
I would agree. Yeah, this was. I mean, you would have to go back years for me to say what movie have I actually seen twice in the theaters.
Oh yeah,
like
I could see that.
I could not give. I mean, it probably would have been pre-COVID. A movie that I went to the theater to see multiple times. I could not give you a quick answer. It's been that long.
Stay away from going to see in the theater twice or more. To be honest,
there's certainly been like a studio movie grill in there somewhere. I don't remember for what, but not twice, but like back to back.
We went and saw Coraline.
Oh,
in
yeah?
3D.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Was it?
First of all, I don't know if you're familiar with Coraline.
I did not see that Disney one.
It's not a Disney film. I don't even know.
It's not?
No. I don't believe so. I don't think it is.
I don't know.
It's a stop motion film, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And
like Wallace and Gromit kind of thing, like the claymation sort of.
Yeah, but this is with like, I mean, it's not claymation. It's actually using dolls.
Oh, okay.
One of the cool things. This is a movie that's been around for a while. So we went and saw they had a 3D remake of it.
Yeah.
So we went and saw it in 3D, which was kind of cool. And then they had a little featurette at the end after the credits played.
Okay.
On how they make the dolls. That was fucking fascinating. Fascinating. They had the whole like crew there on how and so the movie is, gosh, 15, 20 years old or something at this point.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, and so they were basically approaching this sort of interview with all the creators of the dolls, like what's changed in this amount of time from a doll creation standpoint, and what would make it easier or harder, that kind of stuff. It was just a really cool. First of all, the movie's really cool. Some of the stuff they do with stop animation is just incredible. But then with a little featurette on how the dolls are put together, really, really interesting. So if you get a chance to see it, go see it on Tuesday for $5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no commercials. There's no previews. Like if the movie starts at 9:00, it starts at 9:00.
Wow. Where'd you see it?
Over at the Galleria.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Really good. I would recommend it.
Is Nightmare Before Christmas dolls or clay?
I believe it's dolls. Yeah.
I didn't really watch that one either.
Yeah.
It's popular with the girls and
claymation. Oh gosh, I don't know if they've been using claymation for feature stuff for a while. I mean, the last thing I could think of was like
Chicken Run. I watched that.
Yeah, maybe
Chicken
Run. Was that claymation?
Yeah, that was Mel Gibson as one of the roosters or something.
Yeah.
I've seen on occasion like a Wallace and Gromit, but not in the theater.
Is that claymation too?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking of Gumby and Pokey.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely
that goes way
clay.
back.
Yeah.
You're dating myself?
Yeah. SNL. Oh, no, Mr. Bill.
Mr.
Bill was.
Yeah, he was definitely claymation.
Yeah.
I love stop motion. I mean, just how long it takes to make a movie. They were showing a time lapse of one of the sets that they were doing.
Yeah.
And, it's everything's miniaturized. And then, of course, and so there's multiple characters in this particular scene they were stop motioning. And it was set back so you could see all the action going on around it. And it's like you could see the characters moving on the set, but then all the action going around real fast. Oh, that's fascinating shit. And it just takes forever. And they gotta change not just the main character, but all the other stuff around it that's also moving.
Yeah.
and change expressions and the mouth, the way the mouth talks. Like they have like replaceable pieces of their face.
For
like eyebrow raises and talking and different mouth movements.
Yeah.
So they have a collection of like little pieces that they swap in and out. And they do this so much that the parts wear out and they have to have new parts made because they start getting loose.
Oh.
Which is crazy. So they are making molds and it's just fascinating.
I remember when we were Piper is probably sub 10 years old and under, like when we were real hot on like Lego sets with the kids. And I remember like trying, like bought a webcam, set up a little thing to do stop motion with Lego figures.
Oh yeah.
I think I spent an hour doing a simple walk across what was maybe 7 inches with a lightsaber guy waving a lightsaber around, and then another fucking hour getting the frames right and like working with like software, and I went, there's no way.
It's very tedious.
Like I just spent 2 hours and my guy moved 7 inches across and he waved.
Yeah.
Like no.
Melly showed me a video that her and her roommate Kat made. That was a stop motion that they decided. It was right before they moved home. She showed me that, and it was some little guy they had at the house that they were always making jokes about.
Yeah,
and they made him stop motion thing, and like his pants come down or something,
Yeah.
And it was like super short, but it took him like a couple hours to do.
Yeah,
and I'm like, damn, that took some dedication. And she's laughing because it's funny, But that's not easy. And then, not to mention, like I was saying, if you got a multiple shot going with multiple characters, they all have to go.
Right.
If you forget one, the shot's ruined.
Yeah.
That's bonkers.
I do wonder now if they make reasonably accessible software that you could shoot it on your phone and then the software would like pull a frame out so that you could make it appear like stop motion. You know what I'm saying? Like, could you film it and have something take out a frame, every other frame?
Well, the thing is like nothing's moving unless you move it.
Well, yes, for Legos and something. But I meant like if you could create like a fake with a human. Like I'm gonna have you. Like with a person that could do their own movement, could you simulate a stop motion with software with someone that you didn't have to actually manipulate?
I assume you could just start pulling frames out to
Pull
get
frames.
the little bit of non-fluid movement. Yeah, but like these movies are they're done so well that like you can't really even. It's just like a doll that's just moving around on its own. It doesn't even look like it's stop motion. You can't see like jittery,
the jerky.
Everything's super smooth. It's, and I don't know if they have some sort of post production that blends frames so that it looks like it's a smooth transition between frames or something that
wouldn't shock me.
Or if they are
do that
going
on YouTube,
or do they move everything at such a fine thing depending on how fast it's moving that it.
Could you imagine coming in and out so fast with multiple characters to create a movement that looks natural versus the
right
kind of thing?
It's bonkers.
Like everybody get in there.
And can you preview? I assume in the digital age, right?
The animation right up to the last.
You can preview. Okay. Oh no, we missed something. Or okay, now we're good right here. Let's set up the next one. Shot. Add that in. Yeah. I don't know how what their workflow is like. I'm in the video industry. I don't know what this workflow is like, but it's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Such fine detail of it all. There's a scene in Coraline where she goes through this door in a house that's been not painted over, but wallpapered over. So they're basically saying, don't use this door.
Right.
But when she opens up the door, there's a like a tunnel that glows, then expands, and makes her want to crawl through it.
Okay.
I'm not giving away any. There's nothing here that I'm giving away. The movie's been out. Okay, don't get mad at me.
Right. I mean, I totally just.
There's no spoilers
Deadpool
here.
Wolverine with blades. So.
But what I think is interesting is because it's stop animation, they have to get creative in like some of the materials they use. So this, it's sort of like this tunnel that like sort of expands, and she crawls, she crawls through it. You can tell it has this circular wire frame around it, and you can see the wire. It's like a sort of like a cotton liner inside. And there's lights happening, so it's like lighting up purple and different colors.
Okay. And
she's crawling through it, right? But you can see it like, oh, I see. It's a wire frame thing that like is expanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all done in a way that really you don't really think much about it. And I've seen the movie before, so in my mind, I'm like tripping on the 3D effects. And when those aren't around, I'm like paying attention to a bunch of detail stuff that I hadn't really paid attention to. I'm like, oh, that's how they're doing. I see what they're doing here. And I'm just trying to figure out how it's working.
That's a collapsible dog tube.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I mean, that's probably exactly what, or a dryer vent or something with cotton around it or something. Very, very interesting. And I love all that kind of stuff. But do I have the patience to make a 1 hour movie or an hour and a half movie?
I mean, you could give
me... That takes you 5 years to put it together.
Yeah, some millions of dollars to try, but no.
Yeah. That's a lot of work.
I ran out of gas making a Lego guy.
Making a 3-second short?
Yeah. And that's it, too. That's a huge donkey punch. You're like, cool, that was an hour. And
it's 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, okay, that's not going to work out for me.
Shoot. I still have so much time to fill.
I was going to have him like wave and then go and get in the ship and pull up the cockpit door and then set up the cockpit, and then I was going to lift the nope, never mind.
All he did was take a half a step and sort of move his arm up for a wave.
Yeah.
That was it. And that took me 2.5 hours.
I'm done. I'm putting all this craft shit away. Stupid.
How's the movie going? What movie?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to go
do anything else.
Porn.
Jeez. I hats off to those people that can do that stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Love that stuff.
It's some dedication to an art.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Sometimes you can tell the stop motion in that movie. Yeah. It's not super smooth. Like Coraline is done really well. But it could also be Tim Burton.
Maybe I'm getting Coraline mixed up with that Encanto. I think I'm getting those two mixed up.
Oh.
Encanto was the Latino one that kind of took place with the...
is that the house that...
Day of the Dead, like Halloween-y, I think, and like a... No. It was singing. It was a lot of singing. Encanto.
It was Encanto, the one where the house, like...
I don't know.
It destroys itself?
I didn't see that one either.
Oh.
But
I know I saw it. But
that one for sure is Disney.
Yeah.
But I guess Coraline...
Coraline's not. It's not. I don't believe it's a Disney movie. But really good. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
Is it Tim Burton?
I don't think so. You're asking me questions, now I have to look it up.
I don't know, man.
Very well done movie.
So it was like a remaster of it?
It was a 3D remaster. So they redid it with 3D details in it. So you actually got 3D glasses. And I'm not a big 3D guy. I don't make a point to go see 3D movies. And 3D movies sort of had a moment in time where they were really popular.
Sure.
Like everybody was coming out with 3D, and in the company I work at, it was like we had to make sure that all of our shit supported 3D real quick. Oh. Because 3D was the thing at the time. And remember all the 3D TVs with the glasses and shit?
Yeah.
That's really gone by the wayside. No one's doing it anymore. It was like a flash in the pan kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, nobody got time for fucking 3D glasses in your living room.
No. So let's see. Let me look it up. So it's from 2009. It was directed by Henry Selick.
Doesn't ring a bell.
And if you haven't seen it, you should. It's worth watching.
Okay.
Very, very good story. And of course, it's like I said, stop motion doll stuff, but it's just very well done.
Awesome.
Very well done. And that's all I got to say about it. Just do it.
Just go watch the thing.
Go watch it.
What else?
I don't know.
I'm trying to say. You jumped in. You gave me the Deadpool thing.
You had stuff you wanted to talk about last week. That
Did I?
You did not, and then I said you should have brought it up. So now's your chance.
Fuck. Let's see. Everybody's back in school.
Yeah.
So that's started.
Yeah.
I
got trapped by that today.
Did you?
Well, today was early out Wednesday, and my wife is also, she works at the school, so I knew it was early out day, so she was going to be home around my lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
So I just sent her a message. Hey, do you want to go get Jersey Mike's
sandwich
for lunch?
Where's the Jersey Mike's around?
Over by Topgolf.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So she was like, sure. So I just said, I'll meet you there because she's coming from the other side.
Right.
And so I go to leave my street, and the street that I'm pulling out on has, there's like Boljon Middle School and Brown, and they're both getting out at the same time.
Ooh.
And I don't really think much about it. I pull up, and there's like car, and I never really have to wait for traffic. Car, another car from the other side. I'm like, oh, shit. It's early out. Okay. And then I finally get to pull out, and as I pull up to Boljon Park, where the three-way stop is, there's like a crosswalk person, and it's a fucking stack of cars about 10 deep.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, oh, my God, this is nuts. And there's fucking kids everywhere. And then I have to make it through that three-way stop to get to the next stop sign, which is a four-way stop.
Yes.
Because it's got the outlet of the school and the neighborhood across the street. And I'm like, oh, my God, Shan's going to be there before I am.
Yeah.
I beat her, but, I was like sat in traffic on on Halsey for quite a while.
Perhaps I've made a mistake.
So, yes, school is back in session.
We went to, because last night was like back to school night for Xander at the high school.
Oh, yeah.
So, all of his teachers, so he started a week and a half ago, and when he came home, he's like, we asked, like, how do you like what you got,
what's
teacher?
the feels?
Yeah, what's the feels? He's like, I actually like all my teachers. Now, he had one teacher for geography that he actually had for AP Euro, and Piper loved him when she had him. So he has him for geography. He had a U.S. history teacher that neither of the kids recognized that he said was really cool. His IM3 math teacher is actually the husband of a teacher that Piper had when she was at Green Hills in pre-K.
Oh, wow.
So Venus had like a squee moment with that, and then he banned, obviously. So we went to all of his geography, U.S. history, IM3.
Physical education.
I can't remember. No, he doesn't have that. Whatever.
Isn't he a senior?
Junior.
Oh, he's a junior. I thought he was a senior.
All of them, man, shit. I walked out and I'm like, even I would take. These guys were all really cool.
Yeah.
Like for the geography class, he like handed out maps, and then he had a picture of the Middle East with countries, and so he's like, "Can you find this on your map?" And I'm like, "Oh, fucking yeah." He's just like, "Where is this?" I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?"
She's like, "That's a country."
I don't. Where's it? I don't, because this is bigger.
Wait, this is the
like,
U.S.,
sweetheart,
right?
It's right here. She's like, "Oh, okay." She just couldn't orient where the fuck Egypt was because it was like clipped off.
No.
I'm like, it's right. Oh, so then I thought there was going to be a quiz but there wasn't. So that's
Oh.
probably for everyone else's benefit because I would
Oh.
have smoked. But then when we got to the U.S. history class,
The bell would have been broken.
right,
Bell curve.
like fucking yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Not sorry.
not really. Suck it. The teacher for his U.S. history class does a number of the water sports programs there at Wood Creek. Not the pee-pee kind, water polo kind.
I didn't say anything.
I knew exactly where you were already going. I'm going to make this joke.
I didn't say a word.
I'm not even going to have to say how slow his internet is.
Can we replay the tape? Because I'm pretty sure I didn't say anything.
Yeah. Fucking
Rewind and hit play, please.
I'll freeze it right there where you're going. And then I'm going to be like, see, that's exactly the moment where I knew I was going to have to say the other kind of water
Is he
sport.
going to the right school?
Right. What kind of class is this? He came right out of the gate and basically said, my job is, there's
Is teaching.
There's a curriculum of U.S. history that I have to cover, and we'll get through a good chunk of it. He's like, we were on, some classes just kind of depends on where we land with how fast the kids are picking stuff up. We try to get to at least the coverage of 9/11. But he's like, it kind of just ebbs and flows, but that's what I'm shooting for. If somehow we get more current, we go there. He's like, he said specifically, he's not there to teach them how to memorize moments of history. He's like, I don't really like to teach that way. I want the kids to be able to take in perspectives and make corroborations between events. And he's like, because nowadays the kids can Google anything that I'm going to ask them about a moment in time, and they can just regurgitate something.
They have a phone on there.
Right. But I want to teach them the importance of the moment in history and how that relates to them or views that they may have, because that's really what we're trying to teach. Yeah. It's like, also, this is my first career. I teach because I love it. I love to teach the kids. He's like, this isn't my safety net. This isn't my second job. I didn't fall into teaching. He's like, I chose this, and I want to teach your kids. And I'm like, fuck. Like,
water sports.
Water sports, man. Like, did you teach the... No. Almost got myself in trouble there. Water sports. Like, a person that was a teacher, this is what you want all of the teachers
to say. Yeah, for sure.
And not all of them are, and not all of them have the opportunity to say, this is my passion. But this gentleman, it was. And it was like, oh, man. As a parent, that's the kind of teacher you want teaching your kids. Your kid may not get the subject and may hate the subject, but it won't be the fault of the teacher.
Right.
Because they're coming with their A game. And in his class, he actually made the parents all do a fucking Quizlet with, you had to get 12 questions right in a row. And it was you didn't have, my wife opted out because I don't think she wanted to compete against me. But it was like, it was
times.
U.S. history question. Yeah, twice. I would have smoked her on the geography map, and she knows it. Hashtag I love my wife.
That she's aware of.
Yeah.
Twice.
Where's Yemen? You got nothing. Come on. Bangladesh? Nope, got nothing. I'm just going along, nailing all the questions, and it's doing like an active leaderboard thing on his projector, and I don't know what my name is. It's doing like a translation to like when you open a Google Doc and it's like aardvark and elephant.
Okay.
It's got reindeer and koalas are leading, and I'm hoping I just don't have to go backwards. I'm 1, 2. Oh, okay, yeah, right. Oh, someone fucking koalas is right. Is that me? Am I koalas? And koalas and reindeer are like 10, 11. 10, 11. Okay, what's this last one? Oh, something about progressive? Yeah, that one. And then it ends, and koalas was 12, and then reindeers hit 12, and I went, oh, fucking, look over Venus. I'm like, fucking smoke that bitch.
See how I did that shit?
And then,
are you smarter than a 11th
and then only
grader?
to find out that the split second it took me to look up and go, oh shit, I'm winning.
They beat you.
Hit my button. It was koalas was some other dad.
Oh.
It was Pete's dad.
Oh, good one.
Fuck you. Wait, that's not nice. Whatever, Pete. Anyway, if I did, and the thing was, I saw koalas go up and down, but I aced mine. I just went.
Oh.
That'll
teach you to be distracted.
You know, the Olympics looking over at the dude at the last set and then not realizing there were 10 more feet.
You need to lean in.
Yeah, lean in. Fuck. Anyway, I almost won that. And then I took a screenshot and sent it to my son. I'm like, aced it.
Did you have a teacher in high school that you thought was just a fucking asshole, but they really taught well? Because I remember I had this English teacher that was like an asshole in class. Like,
yeah,
the way his demeanor was just asshole. Mm-hmm. But he taught a lot of stuff that I still, obviously know today. Yeah. And so I think back at that particular teacher often because it was all his class was very sentence structure oriented and why you would use this word here instead of this word and what, that kind of stuff. Very, very like matter of fact. But he was an asshole. He was just the way he wasn't soft around the edges at all. He was very, very hard edged, but ended up learning a lot in his class.
I can't say that I have. Well, I had probably what would be close to like a stereotypical no frills teacher when I was at Clear Creek. And they were teachers that were, because we were so small, it was a teacher that taught
multiple things.
All the subjects. Yeah. An old grandma like visage, 60s, 70s, just taught the subjects. No frills.
Yeah.
Wasn't mean about it, but was just like the old lady teacher. Focus. You guys, you need to be quiet.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody sit down.
Right.
And then no frills.
But did she have an impact on the way you learned and her? Because this guy taught me, I feel like he taught me a lot of English stuff. A lot of it's in my mind is common sense, but some of it was like, oh, okay, he's just explained why you would use this over that or whatever it was, or why you would not use this here or this there or whatever.
Probably only, not relative to learning skills, just because she was important. So, and it was Mrs. Chamberlain, by the way. Mrs. Chamberlain, Mrs. Nordstrom, Mrs. Smith were all my teachers at Clear Creek. Principal was Mr. Gamelgard.
Mr. Gamelgard?
Yeah, we used to call him Camel Nuts. # sorry. Not really.
I worked with a guy named Gamelgard, and we called him Gamel, too.
And that guy ended up becoming a superintendent down here at some point, I think. I remember those as names because they were formative as far as learning, but not probably a tangible, did they teach me something that I have taken away? They are names that I remember because they were great teachers.
Yeah.
How about that?
Sure.
If I were to say in high school, it would probably be a shock to my wife. Mr. Heward, who was the biology teacher.
Oh, I thought you were going to say shop class.
The outlier is probably just as funny.
Yeah.
Mr. Heward probably taught me how to be passionate about science.
Yeah.
Because he was very meticulous. My senior project was a science thing. The teacher that I probably owe the most amount of didn't see that one coming was my drama teacher. Like forcing me to do monologues
to get out of your comfort zone,
right?
Yeah.
Forcing me to do not one but 2 plays in high school in front of audiences.
Yeah.
Forcing me to do. I was not say forcing me. I mean, it was part of the curriculum. A dual. It was a glass menagerie, so it was a skit with another female student, where there was the option to have a kiss in the scene because
you were like, "Fuck yeah, man!"
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, if only. And I don't. We didn't do that. We didn't. You
chose not to.
Yeah, because I socially awkward. But it was there, and if she approached us like, just so you understand, this is here in the scene, and as part of the scene, you are allowed to do this. She's like, but I'm telling you right now, this is like a peck. You are not to be
open mouth.
Yeah, she's like, there's no making out on my stage, and we're like, both of us are.
No one's getting herpes on my stage.
Yeah, listen, no. So we didn't.
Yeah.
But to stand on a stage, being socially awkward with a female, talking about like it was a romantic.
In front of an audience.
In front of an audience.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Big moves as far as trying to, and the sad part is a lot of that I have regressed out of because telecommuting probably has pulled me back out of, and that's why if Venus had always thought at its inception Ingress was good for me because at some point
you had to talk to people.
I had to talk to people. #thanks Ted.
Right.
I had to get out and talk to people, and it was the game's not science but strategic nature, of which I was very adept at, afforded me an opportunity to teach game and strategy that I was better than average at, and that put me in front of people. If I wanted to win, I had to find out a way to get past the social anxiety part of you're going to have to talk to some people. But you're good at this, and people enjoy your conversation, so... And it just, it lucked. Now, we're not doing Ingress anymore, and this is this. I'm kind of sort of filling that niche with this. Like, obviously I can't see the audience, but, we make moves as best we can.
I did take some acting classes at American River.
Did you?
Yeah, it was interesting. Terrible stage fright.
Oh, sure.
And
I know the feeling.
Yeah, and so forcing myself to do that was, I thought, important at the time.
Yeah.
I used to be much funny.
Oh, without having to pull your pants down?
Yeah. And so there was a moment in time for me where I was like, I want to be like a stand-up comedian. I want to try that.
Yeah.
And I never got to that because the whole I got to go on stage, talk to people and bomb a lot.
Yeah. Get heckled? No.
Yeah. You got to be really good at your craft in order to handle that really well.
Yeah.
So that never came to fruition, but it was always something that I've like, when I was younger, especially like, oh, I can do that. I could do it.
Yeah.
But I got to get on stage. So probably.
Now I'm just going to do it on the internet. Yeah. Like, here's a Facebook joke.
So I do get that whole stage fright thing, but like just doing the class and having to be on stage, we didn't do any plays in front of a large crowd or anything, but we did stuff in front of the class.
Do you remember any of the skits or scripts or plays?
No. I don't.
I still have monologues rolling around in my brain.
Yeah.
There
was a guy when I lived at home before. This is I think while I was going to junior college. My parents were having like a bunch of work done to the house, so they were having like what you did, like an add-on to the back of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And there was the construction guys. They were a father-son team, Pete and Pete. And Pete Jr. was funny as shit, and him and I would just riff off each other and jokes constantly. They were at the fucking house all the time because they were there for several months working on the house.
Right.
So Pete and I would just go, and he's like, oh, we should go do a team thing. And I was like, yeah, we should do that. And it obviously never happened or anything, but I still think back on that like, fuck,
we were close.
Yeah, what if is that even a thing? Like, could you do a team thing with another person?
Sure, Penn and Teller.
I mean, yeah, but one guy doesn't talk.
Right, you could just... who are the Flight of the Conchords? Those two guys, they just do music.
Yeah, but I'm not musical.
I'm the hippopotamus, my rhymes are bottomless.
So anyway, there was a time, but then stage fright.
Yeah.
All night. I want you to know.
Kicks you in the balls.
Did you catch the reference?
No.
I'm just curious.
Stage fright all night?
Yeah, it's Def Leppard.
From what song?
I don't know.
Oh, well, then
something from Pyromania.
Oh, well, I only know...
Stage fright.
I only
know probably Stage
Hysteria. Fright. Is that before or after the drummer lost his arm?
Oh, way before.
Well, then I don't know it. Hysteria or Get the Fuck Out?
Hysteria. Pyromania is where it's at, bro.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're at time, buddy.
All right.
You won't even have time to get us demonetized by playing some sort of...
I wasn't going to play. I was going to look it up.
Archaic Def Leppard song.
Stage fright. All night.
Put a fist up in you. Just for the fright.
Stage fright. I think the song is called Stage Fright.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
I mean, that album came out like probably when I was in junior high or some shit.
So is that late 80s? Early 80s? Mid 80s? You were done in...
That would have been mid 80s time frame.
You were done with high school when?
89.
Okay, yeah.
So it would have been like 84, 85.
Yeah. You're still like Flock of Seagulls shit.
Yeah, that was very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was big.
Mm.
I used to have a jean jacket.
Yes.
With a Def Leppard pin. I used to love that album.
Really?
Yeah. And then when he lost his arm, it just sort of...
Yeah.
It's really...
You can't really...
Lackluster drumming.
I mean, how often are you going to really get over there to hit that other tom?
Yeah. Half the time.
Half the time.
Yeah, literally.
Half time.
Yeah. Or you're going to have to be using a foot.
Yeah.
At that point you're like the guy that wears the drum on his back and
the monkey
playing,
guy. Just put another pedal down here.
Yeah.
And
you're almost like that. Except you still only have one arm. And I mean, good on him. He's still doing it.
Yeah, good for you.
He's still doing it. You think he has tendonitis in that one arm? Do you think he has phantom like drum movements in his other arm?
Why won't you hit the hi-hat?
I feel my arm hitting the hi-hat.
Do it. Fuck.
But there's no arm there.
There's not. It's just gone, man.
Anyway.
Just gone. Anyway, on that note, you should return the cart.
Wash your ass.
I used to be able to put 2 hands on my dick and play a beat.
Even though I didn't need to.
Wash your ass. Yeah.
Check your oil, Tony.
Yeah. Sometimes it was just a thumb. A register to vote.
Make the call if you need to.
Cup your balls.
Do the kindness to them.
Pick up a broom.
And that's it. I
Well-
think. I don't know.
Shoot some aliens. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.